Hey everyone, and welcome to the latest episode of the podcast. In this episode, we're going to be discussing a couple of changes with Spotify relating to historical data and relating to artist picks. After that, we're going to be diving into an update about SoundCloud's direct messaging feature being available on the mobile app. That being said, let's dive straight into this episode. In news from Spotify, they've announced that they're deleting artist data that is over 2 years old from the Spotify for Artists app. Now, you have until the end of June, so you don't have much time left to go in and download that older data. They're going to be removing the data on June 30th. So if you're hearing this before June 30th, log into Spotify for Artists on a computer and make sure you download that data. Now, you can do this by going to any release within Spotify for Artists, and there should be an option there to download as a CSV. But after June 30th, you're only going to be seeing data from within the last 2 years. Now, there's been some speculation as to why, and I'm not going to dive into that side, but Spotify have been adding a lot of new features recently, new data, new ways to customize the views and filter on them and things like that. So some things that I have heard mentioned, again, not confirmed, is custom date range filters on more pages, additional engagement stats on a songs page, fan segmentation of active audience, and historical data on your audience engagement page, and a new roster management view if you have multiple artists. Now, this information was first seen on Hypebot. Again, the thing that we do know for certain, if you log into the Spotify for Artists app, you can go in there and you can download that historical data before it is removed on June 30th. And there will be a link in the episode notes as well with more information on this. Now, another quick piece of news about Spotify is the artist pick, which is the section where you can highlight a piece of content on Spotify at the top of an artist profile. Previously, this would need to be updated every 2 weeks or it would be removed. They've now extended this so that when you select an artist pick, it will stay at the top of the profile for up to 180 days. Now, a few things to keep in mind when choosing something for the artist pick. You can showcase a song, album, or playlist on Spotify. You can also showcase a concert if you've connected Songkick in Spotify for Artists and your concert listings show. And you can also make your artist pick a podcast or a podcast episode. So if you've been a guest on someone else's podcast or you have your own, you can highlight a podcast or a podcast episode as well. So I encourage you to log into Spotify for Artists. Make sure you set an artist pick because it will now be live for up to 180 days. And if you want that data from beyond the last 2 years, go and download that before June 30th. In SoundCloud news, they've now opened up DMs, that's direct messages for anyone that's not familiar, across all of their platforms, so web, Android, and iOS. Now, you may be saying, what's the big deal? It's just a direct message feature. But let me share you a personal story, and I'll keep it short. With my project Date Night, many years ago, we actually had a very well-known promoter who runs a very successful event in the US send us a message on SoundCloud asking us to perform at that event, advising us that they are a fan and letting us know that they heard our music on SoundCloud. So we were actually discovered on SoundCloud, not any of the other platforms where we were having some success at the time. Had I not had those messages open and actually checked them, we would have missed out on an incredible opportunity, a great connection, and one of our biggest ongoing supporters as well. So direct messages allows artists to actually talk directly with their fans and have a direct connection, have a conversation. So the good thing about this is if you have the mobile app, you can use it like you would almost any other social media, and fans can message you directly and you can message them back. So think about the opportunities here. If a fan tells you about their favorite song and you can tell them about something that's coming, you could tell them that you're performing in their city. You could share a link to the album. There's a lot of opportunities there with that direct communication. It's one step closer to having their cell number, their phone number, or their email address. And I'm excited to see this feature available more widely within SoundCloud. So next time you log into SoundCloud, check your DMs. There may be an exciting opportunity in there, and you may have some praise. You may have some fans that you didn't know you had before. It's definitely worth logging in and taking a look. And remember that you can now also do this across all of the SoundCloud apps on your computer and on your phone. And that's it for this episode of the podcast. As always, I try to keep it as short and sweet as possible, and don't expect a new episode every week. I'll record a new episode when there's something that I feel is worth sharing, because I value your time as much as I value my own time. That being said, if there is any news, if there's anything that you would like me to look into, break down in an upcoming episode, reach out to me on socials. I'm on pretty much all the socials at Ask Mike Warner. Or if you're wanting to find out more about me, get in contact, find out other things that I've done, you can go to askmikewarner.com as well. Thanks so much for listening. I always appreciate your feedback and support, and looking forward to meeting you in the next episode.